Hello, everyone. My name is Winifred Adams, and I am the founder of GAMI, the Global Association of Medical Intuitives, and the founder of Making Life Brighter, which is better known as Making Life Brighter Radio, although Making Life Brighter was founded on my healing work. And as a medical intuitive, I have over 20 years experience of successfully working on people's biofields using the quantum to assist in energetic transfer and healing. And I would like to touch on that today because today is a special day in the world of spring equinox and all about biofields and energy and all that good stuff. As you can see, the sun is coming in and it's kind of taking over. But for over 20 years, I've worked with people in their biofields, in their energetic makeup of their body. And I've done much of my work remotely. I've done quite a bit in person, but I've done a lot of remote healing work, and I do that exclusively now. And so when I see a body as a medical intuitive, I am looking into their field. I'm looking into their signature. I'm looking into their biosphere. I'm looking into their biology. And how do I do that? How does the quantum allow that to happen? And really, it goes back to what we know as sacred geometry and mathematical codes. The quantum is about mathematical codes. It's about taking the mathematical equations of the universe through light and sound and using those to redistribute energy. And how does it do that? Because there's always a perfection or an intelligence to that. So when I use quantum and the quantum field, I am tapping into something that's already in existence. I can't make it up. I can't honestly even change it. But the number one thing I can do accurately is witness it and accept it. So this becomes the foundation of quantum. And when you take something and you truly accept it, now you're allowing it to reformulate on your behalf as a new field of energy. So this field of energy becomes paramount. It overrides. It entrains what's out of balance to the greater whole of what is, and then that reorganizes itself, and we call that healing. Now, how quickly healing can occur is based upon how accurate one is in looking at that or holding focus. Also, it has to do with the person's karma, and it has to do with how a person is interfacing in their receipt of the energy field. So the quantum field is oscillating sound particles that technically make up light waves. And these light waves are integral in the structure of what you can see is like my body or my way of being. And each one of us has a signature, which is really a sound combination, a sound wave, a harmonic. And that harmonic translates into a light field or a light body. And the light body comes into a more dense field, which is the human physical body, that's run by electrical currents, which is run by sound. And so when we understand the physics behind light and sound, we can interface with what's happening in the universe on a level that is not always seen. So when I'm in Los Angeles and I'm looking at a body that's in a hospital bed in New York, how is it I can see into that body accurately and be able to tell somebody on the other end, here's what I see, here's what I feel, And they can say to me, oh my gosh, that's accurate. That's correct. Well, that comes from learning to be still enough to receive this and understand this field. It's like learning a language technically. And when you learn that language, you understand what it is that the language is expressing. You recognize what's being expressed and how that expression then is either blocked or it's translating into a different potential, right? So we always want to look at how to offer the best potential to the position, the vector point of that situation. And then from that point, continue to be an appropriate witness. Because when we're a witness to that, now we have the ability to, we think we have the ability to change the field, but the field actually is greater and moves out beyond us. We entrain to that field, and that field sort of takes over. That's really what happens. The field itself is already perfect and it's already working, but we have to come to a still space to understand that field. And when we are still, we can receive. You see, it's easier for me to work on somebody who's in a coma than it is someone who's conscious, because the person who's conscious has thoughts, judgments, opinions, all kinds of underlying programs going on. And these underlying programs get in the way of receiving. So the goal is to still the mind. You've never seen a master and you've never seen an expert hurry toward an ending. You've always seen one stop, listen, and consider before answering. This is purposeful because you are listening. You're listening to the sound. You're listening to the message. You're listening to the direction. You're listening to what it is that you need to adjust to. And when you hone that skill, now you're closer to being a medical intuitive. Now, everybody technically has these skills, though some are more skilled in the skill, and some are destined to use those skills on a professional level. Not everyone is technically ready to become a neurosurgeon, but we are ready at this time in history to understand the biofield that's working on and through us. And we are ready at this time to see within in such a manner that it becomes clear and evident that we really are light beings, and no one can take that from us in our perfection. And when we remember this wholly and solely, we heal, we express love naturally, and most of all, we receive love. The more sensitive you are, the more you know this already. But what people need to work toward is that still point. And when you can be the still point within the field of the quantum, you get to see and experience things that go beyond what most can see and experience and feel. This is truly the gift. And that is the gift that I get to exercise day in and day out with people as I look into their systems. I see the workings of their personal lives. I see the emotional triangulations that happen that create problems in the organ systems in the body. These are the things that change what we're doing in life. But there's really just one answer. Start by becoming a really great listener. Because when you can listen properly, you then have the ability to hear. You see, in French, there's two different words. for listening and hearing. So when you listen very acutely, eventually you begin to hear. And when you hear, no one can take that away from you. No one, ever. So all this chaos that's going on in the world is happening because people aren't owning what they really can know about themselves. They aren't owning the greater field of what is. When you own that field and everyone comes together to collectively own their loving space, and they are loving like that, what's left? And technically, what's left to heal? When we stop healing and we start listening, now we're coming into a beautiful dance with the divine. We're coming into a beautiful, beautiful positioning, a vectoring with what's already around us. And what's already around us is the quantum, the field of oscillating particles of light that are actually made up of sound and the harmonics of sound creating a pattern. So, what pattern are you creating by your thoughts? What pattern are you creating for your ill health? What pattern are you creating that takes away from you receiving? If you contemplate that, that's the beginning. And in that, you have infinite levels of different layers of understanding to come down through. That's the fun part. My job is fun. I get to look into people's bodies. I am entrusted to see into their systems and then to assist them using the quantum field. And this is really the art of looking at something from a perspective of a loving position and allowing it. So I leave you with that today. And I hope that you begin listening, because we're going to be exploring medical intuition as we go further here. And you can always find that also on makinglifebrighter.com. You can join us if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're a healer at GAMI, which is the Global Association of Medical Intuitives. And of course, you can join us on Awoken TV. And you'll hear me go live every Monday night. And I may start going live a little bit more here and answer your questions and do a little bit of healing here, although I really want to take you to a place through teaching. And the meditations are a great way to begin. So if you'd like, email me at makinglifebrighter@yahoo.com, and that will put you on the list for the quantum meditations. And if you'd like to join us, you'll be able to join. It's almost time for me to speak. It's time to go. I'll see you guys soon. Go jolly. Again, my name is Winifred.